Hello everyone. I should be live. Stuff should be working. I really hope it does. Let me know quickly if you can hear me, if you can see me, if you can see what's going on. If there's no visible lag or whatever, this is a very special moment for me especially, but I think it's a very special moment for everyone. Stickerless Turtle says he will probably mess up the stream, lol. Yes, it's working, we can hear you. That's great, that's a great start. So as you can see, I dressed up nicely. I put on a nice shirt. This is one of the most incredible moments of my life, probably, because you don't know this, guys. You don't know this, but I know this. I've been working so hard. I've been literally working like a slave over the last 6 months, working on something that is very important to me. And honestly, I wouldn't want to do anything else in this very stage of my life. It feels like everything lines up perfectly. It feels like I'm doing what I should be doing, and I'm blessed to have that feeling. And today, I will be sharing a glimpse of that to you guys. I see some comments here and there. Is it a cube? Is it a cubing course? No, it's something way bigger. Because let's ask ourselves the question, what is the future of cubing going to look like? Ooh, I like this vibe, guys. This is going pretty well so far. What is the future of cubing going to look like? Now, we all have our ideas. It will be smart cubes. Maybe Yihang will have a sub 2 second solve and all of that stuff. But the question for me was like, what kind of influence can I have on the cubing community? I've been doing YouTube for a long time, and I feel like I have had an impact on cubing. My tutorials are getting millions of views, and I'm very blessed that that is happening. I see that I help a lot of people. And honestly, I've been doing this for a long time, and I felt for a long time that I'm not going to do this forever. So I tried experimenting with different ways that I could create value for the community. And some of these things worked. I released some products with the Cubicle I'm very proud of, but others have kind of failed. Publicly failed. So if you guys remember, my vision for Cube Academy never got realized or manifested the way that I wanted it to. Until I decided that, you know what, this is too important for me. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get it realized exactly how I wanted it to be. So I started learning everything. I started like getting obsessed over everything. And half a year later right now, because I started doing that in June, half a year later, I'm so close to being done. I'm very close. And I want to share that with you guys today. Now keep in mind, this is a work in progress, so it's not going to be perfect. But I'm very excited to share this with you. So thank you all for being here. This is a very special moment. So what is the future of cubing going to look like? Let's find out. What you're seeing here today, guys, I'm so excited, is my Mona Lisa. It's what I've been obsessing over the last 6 months. And bruh, I'm so excited to share everything about it. Right now, you can see we have a timer right here. We have algorithms, lessons, analysis, admin page is secret. That's for me, guys. And we can even see this handsome little fella right here in his costume in the top left corner, level 34. And he also dressed up just like me. Now, I want you to know that there's a lot that went on behind the scenes. There's a lot of things going on. One example is if I want to change to light mode, the entire website updates. But I know all of you, your eyes are burning right now, so let me turn that off. I'm going to do a little demonstration in dark mode. I'm going to share a bit about how it works. And then later in the stream, I will also announce what this means in terms of release and stuff like that. I'm seeing a lot of comments. Rest in peace to CS timer. Everyone's saying my eyes because of the light mode. Well, guys, basically, I don't want to like compete with anyone. Basically, the entire thing that I had in mind is let's build what I believe to be the perfect cubing tool. And I enjoy doing it so much. I have a background in UI development, so I got obsessed. I got obsessed, guys, and I can't wait to share everything about it. Now, there's a lot going on. You can see stats right here. You can see stats right here. Time list, session overviews. There's a lot of stuff going on, and this is only the timer page. So I'm not gonna go. I'm not able to go over everything, but I'm actually want to give you a tour because what is everything right here? What is all this going on? So let's actually start on the top. We see our sessions right here, and if you click on a different session, obviously you can go through them. But if you press right here, we can see the session list and actually all of our sessions. Now, to introduce you to how would this be on mobile? That's a good question. I will show you later, guys. But let's say we create a new session, because I want to show you that it can actually be very clean. So let's actually start with a session called clean. And this is just going to be a demonstration, but we have different templates. So let's go with the basic one right now, and I will basically introduce like some of the features by going over the templates we have. So let's go basic right now. So a lot of people, when they're starting out, they don't care about like all of the niche stats. Like initially you want it to be clean and kind of like improve from there. So let's actually have a clean session. Let's give it a yin yang logo, and let's choose a nice color, guys. I'll let the chat decide. You can see some colors right here. What color is this session going to be? I'll just like choose the first color that I see in the chat. So I hope it's teal. I like the color teal. Oh, I clicked away. Let's actually do this again. As you can see, very fast. Let's see, teal. That's like, honestly, that's the first color that I see. I'm not even kidding. This is Jamie5522. Thank you, teal. So let's create this session. As you can see, it is very clean. There's not much going on. So to demonstrate, I'm gonna do a solve. Let's say this guy, a lot of people say red, by the way, but let's say this guy is pretty fast and he gets a 7-second solve. And this is like what the session will look like. It's very clean, not much noise going on. You see that it can be very clean, the time list and everything. So the more solves you do, the more will just get added. This is like pretty basic stuff. Like this is a clean timer and it's very intuitive. You see your times right here. You see your overview right here. Let me get rid of this. And you see your graphs right here. You see a preview of the scramble right here, an average of 5 right here when you do enough solves. And you can obviously like click on your time and see all of the details right here. Why is bro live on a Sunday? Yeah, this is an important day for me, guys. It's important. I'm even working on Sunday. So that is just a clean session, nothing to talk about, but we don't care about that. Obviously, we are cubers, so we want to see more stats. And then I kind of want to give you a demonstration. So this is a session with more statistics, and as you can see right here, first of all, let's talk about these graphs. These graphs are interactive, meaning that you can just click on them and it goes to that time. For example, if you have a PR right here, you can click on it, you can see the time right there. Same for the time distribution. You can just click on a bar and you see all of the times in that distribution, which is very, very clean. And then we have the information underneath the timer itself. And that is what I call timer widgets. And you can fully customize them. As you can see right now, let me zoom in a bit. We have average of 5 right here. We have a scramble preview right here, comparison and daily goal. Now, if I click on a widget, we can customize it. For example, we can go for a sub X streak and set it at 10 seconds. Now, what sub X streak is, for example, it counts the amount of consecutive solves you have under a time. For example, my PR streak in this small session is 4, meaning that I have 4 solves in a row under 10 seconds. So there's a lot of fun stuff going on. I'm not going to go in detail once again. You can figure this out yourself, but this way you can fully customize each session. Like you can see, you can even drag them around. You can remove some of them if you don't need them and stuff like that. And combining this with the color of each session, each session gets a unique identity. An example of that is, by default, you have this dotted nice background pattern. But for example, this one right here has this grid. So you can customize all of this for every session, and it's very clean. I pretty much made sure that you cannot make an ugly session. I'm pretty sure that some of you're gonna try to make an ugly session, but I've seen too many of those online. So I wanted to just have like a very clean timer interface, and this is what I came up with. Now there's so much to go over to, and I'm not gonna do everything, but I do want to show some very interesting features. Now, first of all, this scramble preview is very useful because you just have to look at one side of the cube and you can see the scramble, which I think is genius. I don't know why other people haven't thought of that, but if you actually click on the scramble, once again, you can see the full layout of the scramble. You can copy it very easily like that. You can click on the time itself. Once again, you can delete it, DNF, whatever it is. And you can even add nodes. And then I actually want to talk about some short keys, because it's all about user experience for me. And I thought about very cool short keys. For example, if I press Q, I can instantly add a quick note, live stream demo. I press enter, and now if I go to my time, it says live stream demo. So this is very useful, and I noticed this myself, that the more solves I was doing, the easier it became to just like add quick notes whenever I got a skip or whatever. And it's very, very, very fun, and it works really, really well. I'm getting a lot of questions, guys, and there's so much to go over to that I cannot respond to everything. Does it work with Bluetooth timers? I'm not going to talk about that yet. As someone who has done a lot of coding apps and websites, I really like your UI. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Best Coder 1877. I got obsessed with the UI design, by the way, and I'm so happy with the result. But anyways, look at this. This is a session that I did with 2,400 solves. So this is a pretty big session. And I want to show something, and these are the performance indicators. Whenever a solve is 15% faster than your recent average of 100, as you can see, you have this nice animation. But also, if you have, let's say, a very bad time, let's say you don't have your best day, you forgot an OLL algorithm, and you're there like thinking, oh, no. So you get a really bad time, bam, this is a worse time, so you get a red animation. And the final animation, and this is the coolest one, let's say you're in your Yihang Wang mode, and you get a 4-second solve, and you have your PR. This is such a nice vibe, guys. I've been using it, it's so much fun. It's like an extra layer on top of your normal cubing sessions where it just becomes more fun, and I like it so much. And it is very nice to be able to say this, especially because I was able to develop this myself, so I'm very proud of the result. But let's not keep rambling because there's a lot of stuff to go over to. Let me quickly delete this solve right here. So first of all, this is a huge session. As you can see, everything updated pretty fast. Now, I cannot promise that this will work for, let's say, if you have 20,000 solves in a session, but I will do my best to make the performance as good as possible. And as you can see, even right now with 2,000 solves, it is instant. So I do not have any worries about at least having like pretty big sessions that work really fast. You can even like, look at this. The time trend is huge, and if I zoom out, you see how many solves these are, right? And normally you wouldn't like be able to see your trend at all, but we have this averages line right here, the white line, so you can kind of see your trend going on. So once again, these are interactive. So if I want to see my PR right here, I click on it and I see it, and it's really, really nice. And it works so well. Also for example, the time distribution. I'm actually looking at what's the name? This is Cube Academy, guys. This is something that I'm going to release very soon. So let's say I get a 9-second solve. Notice how the bar centers in the middle. It's very nice. You can even like change the bucket sizes if you are like a slower cuber or whatever. It's working really, really nice. Now, those performance indicators, they also show in the list. As you can see, we have like green or red indicators next to the times, showing that those solves are faster or slower. A lot of people are asking if this is free, and guys, it will be free. It will be free. Obviously, there will be. I cannot talk about that yet. But yes, everyone will get to experience this for free. But I will talk more about that later. You have to be patient, guys. This is my demonstration. So let's actually go to the settings of the time list. So here you go directly to the time list settings, and if you want to do the session overview, you can directly go to those settings. Or if you want to go to your session settings, you can just hover over it, see the settings button right here, click on it, and you get like all of your settings here to the left. So I'm not going to go over all of them. Some of them are pretty boring. But once again, these give your session identity. For example, if I want to have diagonal lines as a background, I just did that right here. Hopefully that catches on stream because it's pretty dark. A lot of people are very excited, and that's like, I'm really happy about that. But like you have all of the settings that are necessary. Timer, hold, timer updates. We have something, and this is a pretty exciting feature for me especially. We have something called ignore +2 penalties. Now, what does that mean? It means that track +2 penalties without adding time. So what it means for now, for me, I get some +2s at home, but I do not count them because then it ruins my averages. But I have found a very cool system where I can add a +2 penalty. And this solve is now being tagged with a +2, as you can see. It has a +2. I just pressed the P keystroke, by the way. So my averages are not getting ruined right now because this setting is toggled on, meaning that the +2 penalties get ignored. Now, this is useful so you can still track your +2 penalties. For example, if I go to the session overview, I can enable penalty rate, and I can see the percentage of solves that have a +2 penalty without ruining my average. So this is very chill for like your casual sessions where you do not want to ruin your average, but you still kind of want to know like how many +2 penalties you got. So this is very exciting features. Once again, there's so much to go over to, and once again, I cannot do that. Maybe one day I will. I want to talk about inspection because it's pretty cool. Also, for the averages display right here, you can add custom averages. For example, I selected it right here. You can see all of the averages. Let's say if I want to have an average of 23, I don't know why you would want that. You can do that as well. But by default, I would just leave that to essentials. But here the time lists. I quickly want to talk about that. So by default, you just get a huge list of times, and a lot of people know how this works. You can scroll through that with the arrows. So as you can see, the blue line moves, and pressing enter opens the time. Guys, I'm doing a lot of talking. We will have a conversation later, I know. I'm just so excited about this. A lot of people are very, very happy. So that is really nice. So this is just like a normal time list, right? But I have some very cool features added to this time list that I thought were extremely interesting. First of all, we have the average of 5 column. So when I enable that, we see the average of 5 for each time. So this is especially useful if you care about that. So you can click on it and you see the average of 5 you have at that current time. And also notice that we have the brackets for the best and the worst time, and also in the color, so you can very fast get an idea of your average of 5. But also, average of 5 brackets. This is a very exciting one. So if I enable that, notice how my 5 solves on top right here have extra spacing from the rest of it. So this is kind of my average of 5 right now at this very moment. And also notice that these brackets get added to the time list. So this is the perfect way for me to instantly get an idea of my current average of 5 without having to like guess which the 5th solve is. You instantly see this is my average of 5, this is the worst time, and this is the best time, and I love it. This is so cool. So another setting is inspection indicator. And I'm going to talk about inspection because once again, I feel like I did a 1000 IQ thing. But before I do that, I quickly want to talk about the search button right here. We can search through the entire solve list right here. And we can, for example, only look at our PRs. So these are my PRs for this session. You can just click on them if you want to. You can also order them. Let's say you want to see all of the fastest times. You can do that. Slowest times. If you want to look at your slowest times, you can do that. But you can also like scroll through your averages of 5 and look at your PRs over there. So all of this is working. And this is very cool. You can also search. Wait, let me actually disable this. You can also search for notes. So for example, these are all the times I got a skip and I made a note. So if you actually add quick notes to your solves, pressing Q, let's test this. Live. No, let's do something fun. Yo. I can save that and then I can look through my notes and look for yo, and I found that solve right here. So this is especially useful if you have specific notes for your solves. It is, guys, it's so, I know it's cool. I'm happy with it too. It works so well. But now I was going to talk about inspection time. Something that annoyed me a lot about a lot of timers is inspection time is either enabled or disabled. And sometimes you press spacebar, oh, it's enabled, and then you don't want to have it enabled, and you switch around, and it's never like, it's not consistent, and I didn't like that. So I thought of a system. It's pretty simple, but it works so well. Let's go to our comp style session right here. So I have a specific session right here for comp style. First of all, notice I try to start the timer. It doesn't allow me to. It says press I to start inspection first. So here's the thing. If I press the I key, inspection time starts just like that. So I don't have to use a spacebar. I just press inspection time. And I can start inspecting like that. And I can also do a solve. Let's say I have a pretty good solve. 6 seconds, 6.69, no, 6.75. But here's a cool thing. Notice that we have the inspection time in the widget itself. So we can track our inspection time. And also notice these dots in the time list represent the inspection time you took for that solve. If it's green, you planned well. If it's orange, you took pretty long inspection time. For example, right here, 14 seconds is pretty long. If it's red, you will get a penalty, and you will add those penalties automatically. If it's blue, you didn't take long enough. Look at this, 3.5 seconds inspection time is not long enough. But here's the cool thing about inspection time. You don't have to enable it or disable it. For example, I just did a bunch of solves right here without inspection time, but I press the I key, and inspection time still starts. You don't have to like turn it on or off. It just works. A lot of guys are saying 6, 7. 6, 7. But let's try to get another. Oh no, that's too fast. But this is very exciting stuff, meaning that you don't have to worry about inspection time. You can just enable it whenever you want to. Because if I go to the solve right now, it says the inspection time right here. So you can choose yourself to enable it or not. There are some cool settings for that as well. So as you can see for the comp style, I have a setting where you have to use inspection time. That's why it didn't work when you don't use inspection time. Also, like automatically adding WCA penalties and stuff like that. Everything works. Now, this is a very technical overview. But I think I gave a good idea of what the timer does. You can also obviously look at all of your averages, just click on them, you can order them and all of that stuff. Someone asks, does this work for other puzzles? Basically, the idea for Cube Academy is that this will be an all-in-one place for the Rubik's Cube, the 3x3 cube. I have no plans yet to work on bigger cubes because, first of all, it will make things more messy. And I do not want to do that. Also, I think the Rubik's Cube by itself is the most popular puzzle, and I think it would be nice to just focus on that right now to just make it more digestible for everyone. But I don't know what the future will bring. I have enough work, guys. Just think about how much work all of this was. I have enough work just as it is, so I'm not gonna do like bigger puzzles yet. I'm actually gonna read some chats. A lot of people ask about, can you import? For now, I'm not going to enable that. The reason being is all of these solves are being tracked on your account. And I kind of want to, I'll show this to you, but look at our profile right here. We're actually leveling as we're using the timer. So I don't want to, I kind of want to avoid cheating and stuff like that. So for now, I'm not going to like allow importing of other sessions from third party, like from other timers. Now, I'm lost for a second. I quickly want to think about, is there something important that I should share about this? Yes, something very important. I almost forgot. Look in the top left corner. See this toggle right here. So here, the issue that I found is like, why do people create new sessions in the first place? A lot of times it's like different environments, different rules, like competition practice, and you want to have that. But sometimes you just want to see what your solves are looking like today. And then and for that, we have this toggle right here. So if I enable this, you can see one day gets selected and it only shows the solves from today. Today I did a total of 49 solves. So you get all of the data updates to just showing the statistics for today, which is extremely cool if I do say so myself. It's also extremely useful because it kind of enables you to focus on one session and now and then just like toggle the time frame selector to quickly see how you're currently doing. And at the bottom right here, we can toggle off the graphs, the widgets if you want to. If you want to have a very clean solving experience, you can do that. But also notice that we have all shortcuts right here, and it has a question mark. So either you press on that to show all of the short keys, or you just type question mark right there, and you get all of the short keys. I'm not going to go over all of them, but they're pretty intuitive. One of my favorites is the quick note, which we went over before. But also another one, for example, if I press A, I can see my average of 5 right there. Or I can just use my number keys. For example, if I press 2, I go to my second pinned session. Now, pinned sessions, I didn't really talk about that. But in your session list, you can pin up to 3 sessions, which will always show on top. So you can always like use those. You can also drag them around like that. How cool is that? How cool is that? You can also like reorder them right here if you want to. But you can only do 3. So if I try to do another one, it will say this is stuck. Now, I've been talking about this for 25 minutes, and I feel like I haven't even talked about everything. So there's a lot of stuff to discover. I try to make everything as intuitive as possible. But this is the timer, guys. You know what? Let's actually do... Let's do one solve. Let's do one solve before I move on to the next part. There's a lot of exciting stuff to still go over to. Which I will talk about in a second, but I feel like we kind of have to like do one solve. Like, how am I going to show a timer without doing a solve? So let's do that. Yeah, my hands are definitely not warmed up. Did I just get an OLL skip? And not even sub 10. OLL skip, no sub 10 rip. So, guys, this is the timer. I'm very happy with it. And a lot of people were asking, like, what does this look like on mobile? And I'm quickly going to show this. Ignore all of the stuff on the right. This is the timer on mobile. Bruh, I spent so much time on this, but it looks so cool. Because the idea, like, think about this. How can we have so much data on such a small device? Well, we can. If you're a genius UI designer like I am. Sorry. Let's stay humble. I'm just so proud, guys. I'm just so proud. Look at this. So this is the timer on mobile, and obviously you can just use it as normal timers. You just hold it. Is there a manual? Yeah, probably should have. But it works. The animations, everything works. Everything that works on desktop also works on mobile. So you can see the scramble right here. Look at the modals and everything. Everything is made for mobile. It looks so good. You have this information right here to quickly see the gestures you can use. For example, double tap is starting inspection. So you can do that. It starts inspection. So you can use inspection time. Let me cancel that. You have this mini average of 5 display. So if I toggle this off, there's no information. If I toggle this on, you have a quick overview of your last 5 solves. And there's swipe up to delete a solve also works. Stuff like that. You can still switch between your sessions on top. You can still go through your session list. You can do everything, guys, on mobile. So what about all of the statistics? What about all of the stats? That's a lot of information, right? Well, look at our toolbar to the bottom. If we click on one of those, guys, did you see that? That's clean, right? And you can go through that. Everything works. Even the graphs, everything works on mobile. So it's a pretty much a copy of what you can do on desktop, but just like made sure that everything is developed for mobile. So this is a lot of work. This was a lot of work, trust me. But it's working, and even like very small devices. Like this is an iPhone SE, and if you know, this is like a very small device, but even then it still works. So yes, not like CS Timer trying to squish everything from desktop onto a mobile device. I really developed this to work extremely well on mobile. So I'm so excited for you guys to be able to test this. But let's actually talk about the next thing, and that is gamification, because I've only talked about the timer so far. Let's talk about gamification. We see this level bar right here, and we're close to level 35, by the way, just by doing some example solves on the stream. Let's go back to desktop layout right here. Before we move on to the algorithms and lessons page, let me actually go to the profile page. I want to show this to you. This is pretty exciting stuff. I'm showing it. Bam. Here we have it. Yes. I know, guys. I know. It looks really cool. It looks really cool. You have your profile right here and we level up. The more we use a timer, I'm not going to show you like the back end of like how this leveling works, but the more you use a timer, the more achievements you achieve, and even degrees you get, the higher your level becomes. So you can level up your character or your user. Now, why would you level up? Well, wait, let me actually look at all of those comments. A lot of people are very exciting. Give me the link and stuff like that. Well, guys, I will release soon. I will actually talk about... everyone's asking about the release date. I feel like people are excited, and I'm excited too. But I will talk about that later. So why would you want to level up? Well, you can actually upgrade your avatar, or you can customize it. So let's click on that. This is me, by the way. Look at, I dressed up nicely, just like I did in the stream. But you can, the higher level you are, you can unlock new characters. And the way that I thought about this is the avatar has 3 different parts. So there's a head, a body, and a backdrop. So you can personally make combinations of this to fully develop your own character the way that you want to. For example, if you want to be Eddie, you can do that. Or Pip. Or Flora. Or Foxy. Or Jasper. By the way, I named this after my brother, Jasper. But this is very cool. So let's actually keep it at CubeHead. You can change your bodies as well. So if you want to be cool boy or funky, you can do that. And you can even change the backdrop right here. But the coolest part of all is, guys, people are excited. Yes, I'm excited as well. This is the coolest part. Look, if I zoom in. Do you see this? Ah! Bruh, this is so cool. Look how the character moves around. This is a 3D render, guys. So yeah, this is like your avatar, and it's important. It's important you have a good relationship with your avatar. So that's why I developed it. You can level up. You can get an intimate relationship with your avatar, and it becomes valuable to you. There will be like some limited edition avatar drops and everything. There will be a lot of very exciting stuff that I'm going to talk about in the near future, but this is just a demonstration. So your avatar is a combination of 3 parts: your body, your head, and your backdrop, and everyone can have unique combinations like that. Now notice that behind my name is a doctorate degree, because I have a PhD in cubing, guys. So it is Cube Academy after all. So I have a degrees system. So if I go to my degrees right here, you can see I have unlocked all of the degrees. But look at this. This is my specific doctorate degree that I'm talking about. How cool is that? So basically, the way that it works on Cube Academy, you will have some tasks, and I can show it to you, but I will actually have to do some back-end. Don't look at this, guys. This is some... Was this here the entire time? Let me get rid of that. Let me actually ignore this for a second, guys. Okay, let's do this. Oh, that's all locked. You can see you have like different things you need to achieve before you can actually unlock a degree. And once you have unlocked a degree, you can graduate, and it will look like this. Your specific usernames will be there. It will be my signature and the badge. By the way, just to show you how obsessed I am, the placement of the badge is randomized. So you can see it's not perfectly centered, right? It's kind of like top left corner, kind of twisted. The placement of the badge is randomized and is linked to your account. So everyone's placement of that badge will be different. So everyone has a unique degree. But this is like basically the thing. You can get different degrees based on what you have unlocked. So this is just a demonstration, by the way, but it will work brilliantly because I've tested it. Then you also have the activity, so you can see like your daily streak, and you get XP bonus, guys, from daily streaks. I get a 40 XP reward because I have a 4-day streak, and this increases the more days you have. So I once had an 11-day streak, but you can see with the holiday season, I didn't really solve. But how cool is this? You can see like your full activity. All of those little details are amazing. Thank you so much. I spent so much time on this, guys. I spent so much time on this. But we also have achievements and all of that stuff. I'm just sharing with you, the gamification on this is crazy. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. But I haven't even shown you the craziest part. I want you guys to give me a random PLL. I'm gonna read in the chat. Just give me a PLL algorithm. I'm gonna wait. First PLL algorithm that I see. GA. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. How fast was that? And you're like, wait, how did he get to the GA perm so fast? How? Oh, I'm so excited. Anywhere on the screen, anywhere. Like, you can do this in a profile page. You can do this on a timer. Timer is probably most useful. You can actually type / and it opens a search bar, and you can just type out the algorithm you want. So let's say if I want to do a soon, I type soon, press enter, and here is the soon. Yep. I know it's cool. I haven't even read like all of the comments yet, but I know it's cool. I know it's cool because there's a lot of times you quickly want to, like, you're solving, you're like, oh wait, what is that algorithm again? And then you can just type out the exact algorithm. So the way it is, you can even like just either like describe the shape. This is so useful. Yes, that's sick. I know, it's sick. Like, you don't have to like specifically know. For example, if you do line, you see all of the line cases. Dot, you get all of the dot cases. But you can also do, like, for example, Colin Burns algorithm. Do you guys know Colin Burns? This is the Colin Burns algorithm. This, like, all of the nicknames. I will have different tags for different algorithms. You can go directly to that case. Everyone thinks it's so cool. I know it is cool. So let's actually talk about the algorithm page. So first of all, this is the fastest way to get to any case, and I've tested this. Like, if you want to do fperm, this is the fastest way. Just like quickly opening the search bar and looking for the case. It is the fastest. Like, I've tried to experiment with different ways of getting to algorithms, but let's actually go to the algorithm page. We have this one right here. If I press /, it will just select that search bar and it will work in the same way. Or we can actually browse through the different alg sets right here. ZBLL algs, I do not have those yet. Guys, I have enough work just making this work. What library did you use? I actually developed everything from scratch, guys. Everything. And to prove that to you, I even made a library for myself with all of the different components that I'm using. Like everything, like even the modals and everything. This is, by the way, I don't know why I'm showing this to you, but this is just showing like how obsessed I am with making this. Can you imagine? I've been working on this for like so long. Like every UI component you can think of, I developed from scratch and made sure it worked on mobile, desktop. I'm probably a madman from making this. But anyways, back to the website. Back to the website. You see your algorithm sets. And let's say if I want to go to OLL. Did you program that yourself? Yes, everything. It's crazy. Everything. So if you go to, for example, the subsets right here, let's take OLL. You can see an overview of all of the OLL cases. And I know it looks good. Thank you. Because you see your progress bar on top. You have 26 learned, 5 learning, 26 to do. You can filter through them, like the fish shapes, cross-solved shapes, line shapes. You can do that. You can show all. You can do only show the ones you're learned or the ones you're learning. Let's show all of them. And it just looks really clean. And also I want to show that if you've learned all of the cases, for example, for PLL, I've learned all of them. Look at the bar. That animation is so clean, right? Look at that again. That's clean, right? So basically you can see like the algorithms you're using for each case. Because for example, if I open soon right here, notice that I proposed 3 algorithms that I think are worth it for the soon. Let's say if I actually want to do this algorithm and I move it to the top, the case flips to that orientation and all of the algorithms update based on that orientation. That is so cool, right? That is so cool, right? I know. You can change the statuses of each algorithm so you can know multiple algorithms for one case. And also worth mentioning, let's look at the to-do case. I haven't learned this algorithm yet. Once I actually add a status, for example, learning, that case will update to be learning. So if I learn this case, learned, this case will now be updated to learned. It's very, very cool. You can also scroll through the cases on top. Look at that pretty carousel animation. So there's a bunch of statistics. I will actually show more statistics for each algorithm So I'm going to talk about that in the future. So basically the algorithms that I have are basically using my common sense and my cube knowledge to really propose the best algorithms for each case. So it's not going to be a huge database of an infinite amount of algorithms because I don't think that is useful. But I try to like show as many algorithms that are actually useful to know. Some cases are very specific. For example, this one right here, there are some useful OLLCP cases. Let's actually look at a case with only one algorithm. This has one algorithm. Like literally, I couldn't find another algorithm that made sense to use it over this one. So some cases just have one algorithm, and it's just there's no point in like showing 10 algorithms when one of them is clearly better. But then again, if we go, for example, once again, it is faster to just look it up. If we go to an RA perm, you see this one has 6 algorithms in total, or 5. 5. How much? 3. So it really depends on the case, but I actually handpicked those myself to make sure that all of the algorithms that I'm showing are actually useful for certain people or for certain use cases. Now, what I was showing, let me actually look at some of the questions. Is it free? A lot of people keep asking. Yes, it will be free. It will be free. When is the release? I will talk about that in a second. But I have another exciting feature to show to you. Let's say we have our cross-solved cases right here. So there's 7 cases showing. And I press on this train button right here. What will happen? Leave some guesses in the comments. What will happen? A lot of people have so many questions. That's crazy. What programming language is TypeScript, React? A lot of people keep asking. It's free. Yes, everyone will be able to enjoy this for free. But I will talk more about the release in a second. Can you replace the background with an image? Nah. It will become a train. What is that? Alvinia1433. It will become a train. Yes. The website will become a train. Now, look. It opens those cases in an algorithm trainer. So those selected cases are on top right here. And you can change them. So you can actually select other cases if you want to. But let's keep it at those 7. And it will give you scrambles to set up those specific cases. And if you actually time them, you get an overview of all of the solves or all of the times you've gotten for that specific case. You can press A to reveal your your algorithm that you're using for that case, or you can press D to get the case details for that specific case right here. So this is a very clean way to actually practice cases. This is an algorithm trainer. It's very clean and it works really, really well. So you can look at the statistics for each case. And actually, it's fun to actually experiment with different algorithms and see how fast you can time them. Because for me, like I was using it for some time, and I realized that some algorithms that I was using were simply worse than others that I was using. So I stopped using them. It's very good to actually decide your main algorithms and to try to get it as fast as possible. It's a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun with this. But yeah, every case has its own stats, and you can see like the progress right here. It's very useful for people trying to like learn algorithms. This is going to be the best cubing web ever. I know. You know how the live stream started, right? What is the future of cubing going to look like? And I really believe Cube Academy can be huge. So let's actually go back. That algorithm trainer, it will work for all of the algorithm sets. So I can also do PLL right here. And once again, you can you can quickly select cases. I have learned all of the PLL cases, so I can only select all of the learned cases right here. But let's actually go to OLL for a second. Train right here and change them. You can see I can also just select the cases that I'm learning or the ones that I've already learned like that. So you can easily like toggle the cases that you want to learn. It works really well. It's very clean. So yeah, that is the algorithm page. I will actually, this is still in development, guys. So I will actually have some extra features, but just as it is right now, it already has a ton of functionality, as you can see. And once again, I do want to emphasize, yes, this will also work really well on mobile. Like, as you can see, this works on mobile as well. It's difficult to have that much data displayed on mobile, but it works and it's very clean. Now, the next thing that I want to show to you guys is the lessons page. Now, the lessons page is the only one that isn't like fully finished. I cannot really give you a demo of that, but I can kind of give you an idea of what it will look like. So it will look like this. There will be like different degrees on top, like different tiers. Like if you're doing your bachelor, you're better than when you're a freshman. It's Cube Academy after all, so I wanted to keep like this school theme. And once again, your bachelor, for example, is linked to your bachelor degree that you can achieve. So ideally, if you achieve like the bachelor lessons and the quizzes, you get your bachelor degree and you get a huge XP bonus. So I don't have the videos ready yet, but obviously a lot of them are already on YouTube. So it's just about linking them and stuff like that. But I haven't worked on that yet because I've had a lot of time. I was working a lot of time on the other features, but this is basically what it looked like. It will be a linear thing, because I think it is really cool to like start on the top and go all the way to the bottom. But if you're better, you can, for example, start at the master's degree and just work from there. So that's the idea that I have for the lessons page. But once again, this is just like placeholder data. So not much to talk about right here. But I have something that I want to show to you, which is really exciting. It's kind of a side quest that I had. I was like, you know, for everything to work, for my algorithm database to work, I did a lot of very impressive thinking, because I had to make sure that all of the algorithms in my database were actually working. I didn't want to have any mistakes in there, so I did a lot of coding to make sure that every algorithm is checked, every algorithm gets recognized, so I can insert. I can actually show it. This is actually secret stuff, but here is where I keep all of my algorithms. And I promised myself that I will not show it to you guys, but I am showing it. It's very interesting because, look, this is, for example, an algorithm that I inserted. This is backend, by the way. You will never see this. This is just for me, the admin. But it checks if an algorithm solves a case and stuff like that. It's very, very interesting stuff. And I can even have, let's say if I type assume right here. Is it assume? Yeah, right? It actually recognizes that this is a assume case. And these are very specific signatures that I developed and stuff like that. Anyways, I don't know why I got ahead of myself. I'm just like trying to like showcase that this is impressive stuff. But what I wanted to say is I had all of that logic and I was like, you know what would be cool? To actually have a full analysis page, basically a reconstruction thing. Now, this is once again work in progress, so I cannot promise that it is going to work perfect. But you have a scramble on top. You can change this. Obviously, you can randomize it. You can insert whatever you want to. And you can look at it from the right or left perspective if you want to. Maybe in the future, I will have a 3D cube, but I don't know how useful that really is because when you're cubing, you either look at it from this perspective or this perspective. But the way you reconstruct is very interesting. It's very smart. So I can do slash, and it gives me a bunch of options to like, you can do like a sexy move, for example, and stuff like that. But it's even way smarter because you can even, let's say I want to have yellow on top, green on front because I have a good solution. You can do Y, G for yellow, green, press enter, and it automatically rotates into that orientation. So you don't have to think about that. How cool is that? Huh? How cool is that? So I used to have like a lot of issues with that. It's like, oh yeah, I want to have red on front and green on top. What kind of orientation? But the program does that for you. Now, I know there is a solution right here. Let me actually... If I do a D prime right now, it will actually solve the cube. And notice what happens. I just need to do a D prime. It notices the cross is solved, so it automatically adds a line break. It adds a comment, cross 6 moves, which is correct. You can count it. But guys, the coolest thing of all, what is that below? This is so cool. It analyzes every pair of the cube, like all of the different pairs, and looks at the solutions we have in the database. And it basically recommends solutions based on all of the available solutions. I know it's ridiculous because I'll give you an example right here. So it says recommended back left pair, blue, red. So we have this red, blue corner and this red, blue edge right here. Notice that in the back left, you can actually insert it with a 3 mover. Like if I do a rotation right here, you might actually notice it a bit more. Like in the back right, it is right now. But from this orientation, we can just do this solution right here. If we click on it, it adds those moves and it automatically goes to the next step. It's crazy, right? So then it just does the same for the next pair. So right now it says to do the green-red pair right here. So this is this corner and this edge right here. And you don't have to do the first solution. If you want to do the second solution, for example, if you want to pair it up like this, you can do that. And then you can do the next pair, which is green-orange, which is this pair right here. You can do that solution right there. So it's so cool and it works so well. It's so fast to do reconstructions like this. Wait, I accidentally went back. Let me do this. So... wait, as you can see, guys, it's a work in progress. Let's actually, that is not good. That is not good, right? How did that happen? But to show you, kind of like redeem myself, it's very fast because just like that, I'm back to where I was. So you don't have to actually use those presets. You can also just like keep typing yourself. For example, if I want to do that pair right here, I can do just like that, and I solved that last pair. And you can see it responds very fast. It automatically adds spaces. It automatically gets rid of the... I mean, it takes into account like wide moves. And there's so much to talk about, but obviously this is for the future because I cannot fit everything in the live stream. But once again, you can choose your OLL algorithm. And then let's say we want to do an RUS U-perm right here. And then we get an overview of our solve. 40 moves, that is pretty crazy. Let's actually... let's say you're Yi Hang Wang, you do this in 3.21, no, 3.67 seconds. And you have your TPS right here for this reconstruction. As you can see, it went extremely fast. Okay, we've seen enough now. Just take our money. Yes, please, yes. So you can copy the solution, by the way, and you can just like paste it, and it instantly shows the reconstruction for that. So it's extremely fast. It's extremely fast for this way to like reconstruct your souls, but even to give like solve critiques, because there's a lot of stuff I can do with this. In the future, I actually want to make sure that even in the timer itself, you can very easily add a reconstruction to a time. But as I said before, this is a work in progress. This is kind of like a first look at what I've been developing. So there's so much stuff I can do with that in the future, especially. Let's say in the future, because I have big ideas for Cube Academy. In the future, when I work with smart cubes, I need the reconstruction logic. So this is kind of like the first demo of what it could work like. So there's one more thing actually I want to show to you, because I've shown a lot of crazy stuff. There's one more thing I want to show to you, and I'm very curious if this is going to work, yes or no. I'm very curious because it might not. I might actually be wasting your time, but I want to show you something. I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool? A lot of people ask this. Does this work with a Bluetooth timer? Wouldn't it be cool if it worked with a Bluetooth timer? But the problem is, first of all, there's a lot of different Bluetooth timers. It's like brand specific. I don't want to endorse a specific brand. If you use a StackMat timer, it's with a cable. It works so bad. So I wanted to kind of think about like, isn't there a way to develop for a Bluetooth timer without really having to worry about all of that? Should I maybe develop my own StackMat timer? I don't know. Then I thought about something like we always have a device in our pocket, always, and it's a phone. What if we connect our phone, please focus, and use that as a StackMat timer? Yeah, this... I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Pure genius. Thank you so much. This is insane. I know. This is such exciting stuff. I think I showed you like the outline of what I've been working on. There's more to show than I have shown in this live stream, and just the fact that it took almost an hour to just talk about the features, I think you can understand just how hard I have been working. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to be offline, to not upload, but I hope you guys can sense how obsessed I am with this, how important is this to me. I feel I was literally working on this, and this is very intimate to me because I've been thinking about nothing else. This is the closest look you will ever have. The closest look you will ever have at my soul, because I care so much about this. And I hope you guys can understand that I had to do this. I was working on this and I literally felt like I don't think anyone in the world can build something like this. Because I felt like everything lined up. My background with Apple, when I studied for Apple, my entire process when I was working on YouTube with cubing, when I was making tutorials, I started obsessing about knowing everything about cubing. And now I'm at the perfect spot in my life where I had to make this. I just had to. And I have been working on it so much for half a year. Because if you are a developer, you know how much work this is. It's literally, we're talking about hundreds and hundreds and thousands lines of code. That was not English. I think it's the total project run is 250,000 lines of code. That's a lot of code. I got obsessed with it, but I care so much about it. I'm so excited for it. I hope you guys are excited too, but just looking at some of your comments, I think you are excited, and that makes me very happy. But let's talk about the release. I'm actually gonna share a link with you guys. Just give me a second. I'm gonna paste this in the chat, and hopefully I can pin it. Please don't move. Stop moving. Pin message. Is it pinned? I think it is pinned. I have a message pinned. This will actually allow you to insert your email, and you will get updates when it releases. So let's talk about release. I still have a lot of work. Even though it worked really well right here, I think you can see that not everything is perfect. I still have to test with a lot of people, like how does it work in the backend with a lot of data and stuff like that. I'm so close for it to being done. I'm like so obsessed with the details, so I know a lot of things are already good. But there's a lot of things I still have to test, so I cannot promise that it will be online soon. But I'm gonna make a promise though, and that is that in the first quarter of 2026, I will finish this website. I will start testing with people. There's still a lot of videos I have to record because there's even stuff that I haven't shared with you yet today. So I will do that in the first quarter of 2026, finishing the website till it's like fully ready for release. And in the second quarter of 2026, I will release publicly. That is a promise that I'm making to you. It's pretty broad, but it's kind of like giving you all an idea of what I am doing right now with my time. I'm not online. I'm not making videos. But deep down, you should know that I'm working so hard because this is so important to me. So you can sign up for the release. Like if you insert your email on the link that I pinned in the comments, you can actually get updated whenever I start testing, because there will be a list of people. People who have bought the CFOP pack will actually be first in the list to give them like a kind of thank them for the support. And also, if you have ever ordered like a CFOP pack, you will actually, that the money you paid for the CFOP pack will actually transition to our new website, which I don't know how to call this. Is this like Cube Academy version 2? Because obviously I work on this very, very hard. I spend a lot of time on this. So obviously there has to be something in it for me as well. So yes, it will be monetized. But the way that I want to monetize it is it's called like a freemium model, where it's like everyone can enjoy it for free, because I really want that, because I know it can have a big impact on cubing. So I want everyone to enjoy the timer, everyone to like learn the algorithms and stuff like that. And then on top of that, there will be a premium subscription. I don't know yet about the pricing. I don't know what the features will be. And on top of that, I will have premium lessons that I'm selling on the lessons page as well. Obviously, this is optional. You don't have to, but I actually recorded those lessons with Dylan Miller. Obviously, he was with me. The last live stream I did was with him. I recorded so much stuff. I cannot wait to show that to you. So I have to finish that. But that will basically be the way that I'm going to monetize the website. So it's going to be the lessons, and it's going to be a premium subscription. But I promise you guys, once again, even if you do not pay, you get to enjoy Cube Academy. Because I know a lot of people want to, but I think a lot of people should also understand that if I spend so much time on this, it just makes sense that I cannot do it for free. Because my dream is for this to be my job. I love working on the website. I loved it so much. And I'm so happy that I set up my life with YouTube and everything to be doing exactly what I want to be doing right now. So my goal is to really transition from YouTube to really focusing on Cube Academy. And I know some people are not really into that because they're like, no, we want to see you on YouTube. But look at me, guys. Look at me dressed up nicely, even having a beard and stuff. Like, I'm growing up, guys. I'm getting older. I'm getting old. I cannot always stay that playful dude that made cubing videos and threw stuff around. That's just sad reality, and I always knew this. But I'm so blessed to actually have found a route for me to take that I can still create value for the cubing community in a way that I actually enjoy so much, because you have no idea how much fun I have building this. It's like literally waking up like it's heaven. Like I have these ideas and I can put them into a reality, and no one will ever understand how important this is to me, but I'm telling you right now, it is very, very important. So hopefully you all appreciated this demo. Hopefully you saw some pretty cool stuff. Also, there's a lot of things I can talk about, but I kind of want to stop sharing too much personal stuff about myself, because I never was into this stuff to be well known or to be famous and stuff. And why is that relevant to bring up right now? Because it also explains why I kind of want to step away from YouTube, because I enjoy like building this in the background. Like my value will live on in the tools that I create, not in the person that I am. And it seems kind of irrelevant, but I literally had people at times knocking on my door or like ringing my bell and coming up to me, and I really do not enjoy that. So I also want to mention that I'm moving to a different country and stuff like that. Not because I want to be anonymous, but there's a lot of stuff going on in my life, so you might not see me that much online on YouTube. Part of it is because I stopped enjoying it. Truth be told, I stopped enjoying doing YouTube. And I think you know. So part of it is that I stopped enjoying it. But another part is, and this is the most important part, is because I found something else that I love way more. It's because I found something I want to be obsessed with. So a lot of people ask me, like, will you keep doing YouTube? I don't know. Maybe. But I can promise you this, though. I will only keep doing YouTube if I enjoy it. I will only keep doing it when I want to. If everything fails, my website doesn't allow me to monetize, or I cannot monetize it well, and it cannot be my job, and YouTube dies down, I have no income, I'm broke, I'm a brokey, I don't think I will actually go back to YouTube just for the sake of earning money, because for me, like, my integrity, it has become like pretty important. So just to showcase to you guys that I will only go back to YouTube if I really enjoy it. Is the link not opening? Someone says it's not opening. Is this public yet? No, it should be working. Why are you saying that it's not working? Anyways, guys, I can stick around for like, let's say 10 more minutes answering some questions. Maybe some questions you have about the website, maybe about myself. I'm just going to do like 10 more minutes because it's been pretty exhausting just talking. And I was also pretty nervous for this live stream, to be honest, because it's really important. Yeah, I know a lot of people are sad about me, like, about the YouTube stuff. I'm just honest, guys. I think a lot of people just keep doing YouTube and just lie about them enjoying it. I've always done everything myself, you know. I've always done the editing. I've always done the planning. Everything I've done myself. Let me actually make it myself a bit bigger. So for me, it just became like a huge task, and I've tried it a lot. Like I've tried, like, as you can see, like I've uploaded a bit before, and I've also been promising a lot to the cubicle because for them it's also pretty frustrating. But I tried it, guys. I've tried recording. I've tried it so much, but it's when I have something else that I care about so much, like this website, it's difficult to spend days making a video when I really want to be building the website. Will it work offline? It will not for now, because when you do all of this gamification and attaching like profiles to a website, you have to make a decision. Like either you're going to go full offline, like local storage, like CS Timer does it, or you're actually going to like push it online directly to the cloud. I chose the latter because it opens more opportunities, especially in the future where I can like battle people and stuff like that. You can share your profile. So I had to make the decision and I chose to go cloud first. So for now, at least, it will be fully online. But does it really matter? Because nowadays everyone has internet connection almost always, right? I'm getting a lot of comments, guys, by the way. Like, I cannot respond to all of them, but a lot of support. And I appreciate that so much. Do you need to write a PhD thesis for the doctorate? Yes. Yes. No. But it's like, it's pretty cool though, because the way I envision these degrees is that you have different things you need to do. Like you need to finish those lessons, you need to have X amount of solves, and you need to know X amount of algorithms, which is very fun to like then get your degree, and that degree will actually be attached to your name. So especially in the future when you can share your profile and stuff like that, or we have like some leaderboards or whatever, this degree will always be attached to your name. Is it an app or a website? It's going to be web-based, so it will work on any browser. Nowadays, web-based apps are actually really good. They're almost identical to apps, and I don't feel like people will download apps for every little thing out there. But it works really well. And I think most people will use it on the computer, where it works almost like you can see like all of the animations, like when I click on stuff, and it works really well. So it just feels like an app. My mom. My mom says, goed gedaan, ik ben trots op jou. She basically says, well done, I'm proud of you. Thank you. Shout out to my mom, everyone. I love you. Thank you for being here. Why are you leaving Belgium? There's not much to see from me here, except for my mom. I will miss you. I don't know. I have to do it, guys. I'm young. I'm still young, so I want to see what life is like elsewhere, so I'm doing that. People keep asking, is it free? Yes, it will be free, but it will also be paid, so it's like a freemium model. But I will make sure that the timer and everything can be experienced. So, is the timer similar to CubeDesk one? Like, if you actually look at all of the demo, like I kind of like demonstrated the timer, you will see it's vastly different. Just because it has like a dark UI doesn't make it similar. Like I can truthfully tell you guys, I've almost taken no inspiration whatsoever from any other tool out there. And I promise this on God. And the reason is I truly wanted to make the best possible software for timer, for algorithms, for everything. And in order to do that, you have to start from a clean slate and ask you the basic questions. So if some things are similar, it's because those are essentially, in our same opinion, the best solutions to problems. But I do believe that this is vastly different than anything else out there, especially in a lot of the decisions that I had to make. A lot of the details, a lot of the things. I feel like my website is going to be extremely intuitive to use. Like even the short keys and everything, I've thought about it so well that I think a lot of people find it very intuitive to work with this timer. Is ZB on the website? Not yet. Obviously, that's the cool thing about working on a website. It's like you build something and you can always work on top of that. So this is, I'm sharing a lot of personal stuff with you guys. I kind of like envision it as building a cathedral. Like you have to start by just laying some stones. I remember when I was starting on this like over 6 months ago, it felt impossible, but I just didn't think of it. So I laid a new brick every single day. Like I worked on I just stopping the timer. You start with nothing, but every day you build new bricks, and then you see a wall, and then you see like a room, and then you build on top of that, and suddenly it starts coming together. And right now I can almost envision the cathedral. But it's always easier to build on top of your cathedral than to just like start from scratch. So you ask a lot of questions. Is this there? A lot of things are not there yet, but I have big visions for Cube Academy, and I will add those things in the future. So ZB currently not, but we can easily add that in the future. It's mostly just about like getting the data there. Is it same as Smart Cube app? I don't know what you even mean by that, but right now a Smart Cube doesn't connect to the website. But once again, those are things, if people actually use the website and a lot of people enjoy the timer, I definitely want to work on working with the Smart Cube. But guys, don't forget like the phone demo I did with the timer. It was pretty epic, right? Like the phone StackMat timer. So this is a good question. Did all the features you showed, the live stream showcase, all included the free plan? That sentence, you probably mean that everything I showed will be in the free plan. I don't know. I still have to decide on that, guys. But I hopefully you understand that if I want to make this my job, I do have to monetize in a way. And I'm going to promise you, because I've built everything myself, I can keep the prices very fair. So there's a high chance that maybe the algorithm trainer becomes a premium feature. Or we will have a limit for the amount of solves you can do in a day. Like a very respectable limit, let's say like 50 solves or something a day. Then if you have to pay like $4 a month, I know, especially if you're young, it kind of sucks. But you also have to understand that it's not a lot of money to support something that I've spent so much time working on. So I will definitely promise you that I'm going to do my best to keep it as fair as possible. And I'm also going to promise that I'm trying to make this a good experience even when you're not paying. But I'm also going to promise I do not want to have advertisements on the website, like sudden pop-ups or like ugly stuff. Like I care so much about the design that I don't want to get it ruined by advertisements. Please monetize, man. You deserve it. Thank you so much. It has been difficult for me because I remember when I released my premium course with Mehdi Hiroto Inaba, I got a lot of backlash for that. And it's really weird because I really try to create good value, the best that I'm capable of. I tried to look at what was online out there, and I really believe that I did a better job, or like at least an equally good job. I still got a lot of backlash saying that it's not ethical to sell to children education. But I know this kind of hate is like inevitable, but I did also learn from that, and it opened my eyes that I truly want to create even more value if I'm able to. I want to do it in a way that people are going to feel less bad about it. And I think what I'm currently building is like irreplaceable. A lot of people asking like where I'm going to live. This is private. Far, far away. Far, far away. I'm going to keep it a secret. Wait, let me actually... So let's... I'm going to be here for like, let's say 5 more minutes. So let's ask some questions. Someone says... Curious Nick says the backlash was unfounded. Value has its cost. Yes, I do agree with that. But then again, like from my perspective, it doesn't really matter if it was unfounded or not, because I still had to like go through that. I still had to experience the hate. And I didn't like that because I feel like I've always been honest, and it felt like I was treated as if I was dishonest with what I was doing. Even though it was completely optional, right? Like I have created a lot of tutorials. And back when I started doing tutorials, I remember a lot of people were even giving me hate for that, saying like, JPerm exists, why would you make tutorials? Because I really believe that my tutorials could actually be better. And right now, just a year later, or a bit over a year, like literally my tutorials have millions of views. It's literally what's keeping my platform alive right now. And I see how many comments I'm getting of people being happy with my tutorials. So it kind of showed me that hate will be there, but you have to like listen to yourself and actually like, if I can tell myself that whatever I'm doing is honest, then that is the case, because I should have good judgment over that. And the hate is there. It's kind of like good to reflect on, like listen to like what you guys are saying. And is it really, does it make sense what they're saying, or is it just like pure hate? But what the point I'm making is like all of those tutorials were free online. Like I feel like I've created a lot of value for cubing just by creating free tutorials. And then when I have a premium course, people started hating, like, oh, you put this behind a paywall, but it's like kind of ignoring all of the other stuff that I did. Show us Pablo for a last time. I don't know where he is. Oh yeah, wait. Just wait a second, guys. Here he is. He can do like a 180 with his head. How cool is that? Yeah, this is funny. Can I practice other events? Once again, guys, the idea of Cube Academy is to be a Rubik's Cube place. So I'm not focusing on other events yet. I don't even know if in the future I will. I noticed, especially online, that a lot of people care about Rubik's Cubes. And it's way more popular than anything else out there. And I feel literally the best website out there I can make for Rubik's Cube is with the least amount of noise possible, because it's difficult to learn the Rubik's Cube when you're starting. If there's even more noise with all of these different puzzles and events, it will just make everything more noisy. So for now, I want to keep the focus on Rubik's Cube and make sure I do it in the best way possible. I don't even know if in the future it will have different puzzles, but once again, this is my cathedral. I can always build on the cathedral and add different events in the future. Are you going to advertise your website at any cubing competition? So this is very interesting. So the way that I see this website going is maybe in the future it becomes like a brand in cubing. And Cube Academy is it's like a brand that a lot of people either endorse or do not use or whatever. And if that's the case and I monetize well, I could even start sponsoring stuff and stuff like that. And I'm very excited about that because that's like a career change for me, literally. So who knows? Not yet, because this is just costing me money right now. I'm not making any, but I think that would be cool. Can I type times? No, not for now. The reason being is, first of all, you've seen the mobile StackMat timer if you stuck around for long enough. It's super cool. So if you want to use a StackMat, using the phone is almost identical. I know it's not one-on-one with a normal StackMat timer, but it's very close. And number two is, because I have all of this gamification and stuff where you can level, I want to prevent cheating. And if you just like spam a lot of times, it kind of defeats the purpose. So I think it's easiest for now to not have it. But once again, like if I notice that this is a real issue, I can always add it in the future. It's not that difficult. Like if you've seen the stuff that I've been doing, like just look at this graph. You can click on it. Just look at all of the stuff I've been doing. You can zoom. This is just like the graph. If you've seen the demonstration of the analysis, it's like a lot of things are very, very difficult. The stuff you're talking about is pretty easy. So if I notice that a lot of people are asking for that, I can always do that in the future. What about cheaters? Well, if you want to actually add a bunch of solves that are very fast in your session, go ahead and do that. But what's the point, right? The XP system, the way that you gain XP as a profile, is very robust. It's a very smart system. And it doesn't matter how fast you are. I don't want to talk about the logic. It's very genius, if I do say so myself. But it basically doesn't matter how fast you are. It doesn't matter how many times you do. It doesn't matter how much you cheat. It doesn't matter. Just using the timer will give you XP. There's no point in having one solve of like 5 minutes or like having 1,000 solves of 1 second. The more you use the timer, the more you will level. Please don't make it cost money. I'm just a kid. Is it one-time payment or monthly? A lot of people ask like questions I don't know the answer to yet. As I said before, and a lot of people want to know this, so I'm going to emphasize it again. I'm going to make sure that everyone can experience Cube Academy for free. All of the features. That was kind of a strong statement. Probably not all of the features, but the most important features like the timer and stuff, you get experience for free. But if you want to have like the extra functionality and make it even more good, even better, you will have a premium plan. That is basically the idea that I have right now. And you have to understand this. Modern tools always work like that right now. If I with the value that I'm creating right now, with the time that I'm spending on this, I just need to be able to monetize it in a way, because I truly have big ideas and I do want to see them manifested into a reality. But once again, I can promise you, if features will cost money, it will be very fair. Like I'm gonna do my best to make them as low as possible. Like if you would have to pay 1 coffee a month to use a timer you're using for hours a week, it's not a bad deal, right? And what is a coffee nowadays? $5 a month. So just think about that. How do I sign up to the website? Right now, once again, I will start testing first quarter of 2026 with people. There's still a lot of things that I get to finish first. But you can sign up using the link that is pinned in the comments. Once again, the release of the website publicly is planned for the second quarter of 2026. Are you going to Euros 2026? Nice. Some personal questions. Yes, probably. What is that the one in... wait, Sweden is World Championships, right? Is that the one in the Netherlands? For sure. For sure. Will the ones that bought the CFOP pack get the premium thing for free? I have something in mind like that. Like people who have supported my channel by buying my current CFOP packs, premium lessons. I will make sure that those guys, I have a list of emails of people who have done that. I will make sure that the accounts they create will automatically get all of the premium stuff. As a thank you, you know, it just makes sense. You signed up. Say my name if you see this. Is this like a Ian Shensianmo? That's how I pronounce it. Okay, so let's do one more question. Let's do this one. How are you doing right now, CubeHead? That's a good question. Someone asked me how I am doing. Well, thank you for asking. Nushi. Thank you for asking. I'm doing really well. I'm doing really well, guys. I think you can sense this just from the demo. I have been super excited for this. I've been working behind the scenes for so long, and I know I got a lot of comments of people asking what I'm doing, why I'm not uploading more, a lot of doubt. And I didn't want to share it to the world because it wasn't ready. And at a certain point, and this just happened last week, something happened last week and I suddenly decided, you know what? I think I should show the world. I think it's ready. So I showed you a glimpse of it today. And I'm super excited. I'm doing extremely well. I've had my ups and downs in life. And I've had a pretty long down when I was lost with not enjoying YouTube anymore, with Cube Academy the way that I wanted it to be, failing publicly. Because as you guys know, I used to want to do this with a team and that failed. I had to pull the plug on that one. And it was a very low point in my life because it was so important to me. But I have to tell you, like now that I'm able to work on this with pure obsession, I've been doing extremely well because I see my vision being brought into fruition. And it just feels good. It just feels really good. So thank you guys for being here today. I think this is a very special moment for not just myself, but also for cubing. In the way that I started this live stream, what will the future of cubing look like? I hope what I showed you today will have a big impact on cubing. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for the support. Big shout out to the Cubicle once again for all of the continuous support. If you ever do want to support the channel right now, you can always use discount code CubeHead on thecubicle.com for a huge discount. And yeah, I will probably not see you soon. Usually I say I will see you soon. I will probably not see you soon because I will be working hard. It's kind of sad, but I think it's the price not only I, but also you have to pay for the extreme value that I'm trying to bring to cubing. And I hope everyone can kind of see that after today. I'm very happy that I got to do this. I'm very happy that I got this off my chest. Peace, guys. Say yo. That's a good way to end. Yo. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. And I will see you in the future when hopefully I can get to tell more about the website. Thank you, guys. Peace. Enjoy your day. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everyone. Ciao, ciao. How do I end this? How do I end this?